Welcome to Inside Town Finances. Inside Town Finances is a select board initiative designed to educate and inform the community about various topics related to municipal finance. Each volume of Inside Town Finances focuses on a specific topic. More detailed information about each topic can be found on the town website.
Today, Volume 2, we're going to discuss local receipts. 10% of the town's revenue comes from local receipts. This is typically collected by the town for various services, mostly in the form of fees. And for perspective, last year, Hingham collected approximately $10 million in local receipts. A lot of Hingham's local receipt revenue is sensitive to overall economic conditions. When the overall economy is strong, our local receipts are strong. And when there is an economic downturn, that is often reflected in lower collections of local receipts. So let's take a closer look at the different categories that make up local receipts. We'll start with motor vehicle excise tax. That's the blue bar in the chart, and it represents nearly half of our local receipts. Any vehicles that are garaged in Hingham are assessed an annual motor vehicle excise tax, the rate being set by the Commonwealth, that is based on the value of a vehicle. The higher the value of a vehicle, the higher the excise tax. So in years when people are buying a lot of cars, we collect a lot of excise tax. In years when people defer the purchase of a vehicle, our excise tax will drop. Our treasurer collector issues and processes both our excise tax bills and the payments. The next category is ambulance revenue, as represented in the graph by the bar in red. Hingham operates its own ambulance service. The majority of the revenue collected comes from Medicare, Medicaid, and private insurance carriers. Ambulance revenue offsets nearly 25% of the total fire and emergency management operating budget. The next category is license and permit revenue. The largest revenue source in this category are building permits. The town issues building permits for residential and commercial projects of all sizes, from a tent in a backyard, to a home addition, to the expansion of a business, to the construction of the businesses and residences in the Hingham shipyard. Building permit revenue is often a bellwether of new growth, which is part of the tax levy and which was described in Volume 1 of this series. Building permit revenue offsets many of the costs associated with our town land use and permitting departments. And other revenue sources in this category include shellfish permits, birth, death, marriage and business certificates, and dog licenses. The next category is meals tax revenue. In 2009, the Massachusetts legislature allowed municipalities to levy up to a 0.75% tax on restaurant meals. Hingham's 2010 annual town meeting authorized this tax at the maximum allowable limit, with the stated intent of using this money for non-recurring expenses. By 2015, we had collected almost $2 million in meals tax revenue. The town used these accumulated funds to reduce the cost to the taxpayers for the construction of the Hingham Middle School. In addition, beginning in 2015 and every year since, the town has applied $600,000 in meals tax revenue to further reduce the taxpayer cost of the middle school. Now, as you might expect during the pandemic, meals tax revenue has significantly declined. We are optimistic that as we and our nation move out of the pandemic, our meals tax revenue will recover. The next category is payment in lieu of taxes. Some Hingham businesses make a payment in lieu of property taxes. The next category is investment income. Hingham invests its cash on hand, which is also called free cash, in low-risk securities. We should note, Hingham does not engage in speculative investments of town funds. And the last category is all other. This is a number of different things, including penalties and interest, boat excise tax, charges for services, special assessments, and fines and forfeitures. In summary, local receipts represent about 10% of our revenue. There are several categories of local receipts, the largest being motor vehicle excise tax, ambulance revenue, and meals tax revenue. This concludes Volume 2. Thank you for listening.